time to go work on my mullet.
I thought you were going to work on your mullet. Where are the bathrooms the other way?
Yeah, but my mullet bench is that way. There are plenty of YouTube channels with excellent modelers with excellent production skills. This is not one of them. Welcome to Cable's Creations, a video channel on modeling for the rest of us. So where we left off, I had gotten the cockpit finished. So right up, it's gonna be getting it buttoned up into the nose pieces, and then get the nose gear well closed off to be gears up, and then can start with some general assembly. Also going to have to check for seam lines and whatever sanding we need to get done on that piece of the nose. So let's get going. Ooh, playing with fire. He said fire. Fire, 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 fire. Okay, the whole thing about fire was so that I can stretch out some sprue like there and there. I'm gonna use that to get those sanded down parts of those raised panel lines on the fuel tanks. So I've been doing some painting, got white on the intake system, got an initial layer of black on some of the exhaust with these intake fans, got them painted in duraluminum. Also got some burnt iron on the exhausts on the main parts of the fuselage. At the same time, did some spot priming. Need to do just a little more work on those gear bay doors that I was filling in. Did some spot priming on the nose to try to check up, check my filling and sanding. Got a few seam lines need to get rid of, but that's the whole point of spot priming. Well, after some spot priming, saw a few areas that didn't look sanded that well and looked like it had needed filling more so than sanding, as it was divots instead of sitting proud. So I have filled those areas with sprue goo. I've already sanded those down, and seems to have gotten rid of the gaps. Another area that had mainly just little scratch sanding marks, so I put some sprue goo on it. I was going to use some Mr. Surfacer 500, but it had gone off and gotten totally solid, so binned it, and I've ordered some more. I did get these intakes assembled, and I might just sand smooth some of that initial way, but once you get too far beyond it, you can't really see whether it's smooth or not, or see whether they're smooth or not. Guess maybe where it's letting some light in. I also got those turbines at the end added, kind of had to help hold the shape round on the end. Okay, sanded down those areas, and it might just be time to spot prime again and make sure I got things good and smoothed out, and taking care of any gaps. Similarly, I got all of these sanded down, and so I might just spot prime them again, and also give them some thought to rescribing the lines of those gear doors. So I got some sanding done over the areas I spot primed. I think we're looking good, and Basically gonna spot prime again, see where we are, and can maybe get into some construction. Well, speaking of construction, hey, I've gotten those intakes glued, and currently, well, maybe zoom in to get that in. Just the little gun that goes into the wing inlet right over there, that little kind of divot in the corner. So this is still wet right now, but I think I managed to get the bottom painted steel and then get some gunmetal onto the actual guns. So we're pretty soon gonna get it where it's starting to look like an airplane. Right. As you can see, I got the top and bottom halves together, and then there were some areas that needed a little filling. That's already been filled and sanded. Did filling and sanding here, and then had to add a little more filler, black super glue. I think we're pretty good there. Fairly good there. Did those with file, so I'll probably go back with a sanding stick. Well, did some spot priming, and looks like just got to do a little bit more work on there, and there. That side looks pretty good in front. And this side looks like it might need just a little work towards the back there. As this goes, yeah, not bad. You can see where some panel lines need to be rescribed. And get rid of some scratch marks, or some sanding marks, and not really showing up on the camera that well. There you can kind of see some of the seam lines still. So a little more work to do. So that's going to be it for this week. Started getting some fuselage assembly done. Having to clean up some seam lines. And then also start some work on making some clear glass. Clear parts for lights. So we'll be picking that up next time. Till then, showing you mine to hopefully make you feel better about yours.